Hi chum, I've just got a wee robin has come in here and he's sitting watching me doing this here. Now this little robin comes to me all the time when I'm out here because he knows that I'm digging and getting on. I throw wee grubs to him, you know. So he probably remembered that that's what goes on and he's back again. Right, so what one does he got now? But number 51. Number 51 is for Cara, but there's a wee note here, I'm not too sure what it means. I'm just checking it out here. Number 51. Right. These are my own potatoes this time from last year, and they've got Tomorite, which is a tomato fertilizer instead of a potato fertilizer, and nothing else. So that's basically it, you know, just ordinary compost. And this bird's only about 2 feet from me. He's sitting waiting for wee bugs and things. So we'll see how these do. Right, we're still in Killarney and we're having a good time now. There's some of the basic premise for hitchhiking in Ireland, right? You get to where you want to go, right? You've got 3 priorities. You've got a place to stay, drink and food, right? And they come in that order. So the first thing you do is you pay for your campsite fees. That's not looking very good at all. In fact, this bag's not looking very good. We'll see anyway. See what happens. So you pay for your campsite fees, and that means you're not going to get booted out. So you can stay there for as long as whatever you pay for, usually 4 days, 3 or 4 days. So we were down there for a week, so we paid for a week. But we had a very fortunate happening. On the first night we were there, we met 2 girls, and got on rightly with them, you know, and discovered, they said, just come down to the shop in the morning. We said, what shop? They went, our daddy owns a shop. Their shop was one of the biggest grocery stores in Killarney. So we go down every morning and the girls would give us bacon and ham and sausages and eggs and bread, soda bread and stuff. We would head up to the campsite again and start cooking this stuff. Now imagine the scene. You've all these other boys and they've been starving, they've been out and drink all night, they've no money for food. Well, they have money for food, but it's really for drink the next night again. So they don't buy food, and they're sitting in their tents and standing around their tents watching myself and my mate cooking these big fries up every morning. So this went on for like the whole time we were there, and it was great. We had a brilliant time. And every morning we went down to the shop, and every morning we came back with a bag full of stuff, and the other boys were watching us and you could see what was going on, but we weren't real bastards. We shared the stuff out because we had so much stuff we couldn't eat it. So what we used to do was we'd say to the boys, right, does anybody want anything, and just leave, take what we wanted out of the pan and leave it there, and anybody wanted stuff could come over and get it themselves. So we shared the stuff out, you know, but it went down very well with the others, I can tell you, you know. So it was great. We had no worry about food, and we got a real good feed in the morning. I didn't need to eat much during the day, and then go out in the tear at night and get up the next morning, get a big feed again, and everything was rosy. So then we were getting on. We met these girls, brothers and all, because we're in the shop and we met the brothers and everything. It was good fun, you know. And they said to us, when are you heading home again? We said, well, actually we're going home on Saturday. And one of the boys said, well, tell you what, where are you heading to? And we said, we're going to Galway, just before Galway, a place called Clarenbridge, just before Galway. And you guys said, that's no problem at all. I'm taking a taxi up to Knock Airport to pick up 2 American tourists, and I'm bringing them down to Killarney. What time do you want to go at? And we said, what time are you going at? He said, we're going about 11 o'clock in the morning. Dead on, that's a good job. So on the Saturday morning we went down to the shop as usual, and we got our grub and back up to the tent, and we decided to pack up and wait for the taxi. So we were sitting there and sitting on, it was a lovely, lovely day. And I want to paint a picture of the campsite. The campsite was a huge field, and there was one road that ran right around the perimeter of the campsite, and we were on the exit part of that road, so we were about 80% of the way around. So we were sitting on the top of the rucksacks and waiting for the boys to come and pick us up in the taxi. And the next thing, this stretched Mercedes limousine pulled into the campsite. Big, long, black limousine. And there was one of the boys, the girl's brother, Dara driving the taxi with the peak cap and all on. And we thought, oh my God, we realised then they were a funeral business as well. So they had all limousines for funerals, but they also used the limousines to pick up rich tourists. So we realised we're going to be going to Galway in a stretched Mercedes limousine. So this was great. Well, you want to see the reaction of the people in the campsite. This big thing swung into the campsite on a little narrow road and very slowly made its way around to make sure everybody saw what was happening. And Dara got out of the car with a cap on, and my mate said, just put the bags in the trunk, driver. And we got into the car, and Dara went, yes sir, and put the 2 rucksacks into the boot of the car, the trunk of the car, and we got into the back seat, and he got into the front seat, and we took off in the big limousine, and the faces were unbelievable. The people were just sitting with their jaws on the ground going, what, and how much dough have those 2 boys got, you know? So they must have thought we were multi-millionaires, but we had some laugh on the way up to Galway of that one, you know? So that was one of the best lifts I ever had in a stretched limousine, you know? And not knowing about it. And the thing was, your man didn't tell us that we were going in a limousine. We just assumed it was like an ordinary taxi, like a mini cab, basically an ordinary saloon car with a taxi sign on it, you know. We didn't realise it was an upmarket limousine job, you know. So we had a really, really fun ride up the north, up to Galway again. So he brought us right to the very door of the house we were staying in, which is handy enough because it was only about half a mile off the road, you know. But that was great. I haven't seen him since. Well, I was back again in Killarney, but the way I was fixed, I couldn't get into the actual town part, and I was just driving through, so I never got a chance to say hello again. But actually, he'd probably forgotten me anyway, you know. But that was a nice wee journey, you know. So that was our limousine in the campsite, and all the mouths hanging open with shock. That was a nice one. That was good fun. So that was that. So we got some fantastic lifts. We got one time. One of the scariest ones I ever got was with a traveller from a drink company, and I think he'd been on the drink himself because he was absolutely reckless. He had a Fiat 124, but it had a twin cam engine or some damn thing. I don't understand motors that much, but he kept showing us where do you see what she'll do? And what she'll do was doing 120 mile an hour up gravel roads, you know. The roads down the south of Ireland, the west coast of Ireland then were just like stone chips, you know. They put the chips down for the summer and didn't bother them for the rest of the year then, you know. But they kept it too. You want to see the roads there now? Beautiful roads, absolutely beautiful roads. But what do you call it? The what was I going to say there? I've forgotten what I was going to say. Yeah, so that was our taxi thing. It was good. I enjoyed that. But we got some great lifts. One time we did ask a guy to let us out of the car. We got into the car just outside Limerick, and as soon as the guy heard the 2 boys with the northern accents, he started on us. And he said, well, suppose you have your rucksacks full of bombs and guns, because at that time the troubles were on up in the north, and there's a lot of boys hiding in the south, you know. Bold boys were hiding down there. They keep out of the way of the police and stuff up here. And he started this crack about, oh, you wouldn't know what I'm travelling. I could end up in jail because you 2 boys if you've got guns in your bags. And he went on and on until it got to the stage where he said, look, just let us out of the car. But he was having too much fun. So we just came to the set of traffic lights. The mate pulled the handbrake up beside him and just said, right, I'm getting out. And he got out and held the door open so he couldn't drive off and hit another car, and I got the bags out of the boot. But that was a horrible lift, you know. And he left us we got out in a really shitty place in Limerick. Limerick had a bad reputation. They called it Stab City, and I think we were right in the middle of the stab part of it, you know. But we got out of it all right, you know. But it was just horrible, you know. Like, why do you give somebody a lift and then abuse them? Well, the other one was, I gave a boy a lift one time outside Portadown at home. He was heading to the Moy on the way to Dungannon, and at that time again, it was very hard to get lifts because of the troubles. And he was standing there with a suitcase, and I thought to myself, this guy's clean enough, you know. So I pulled up with myself and my wife, and I said, look, where are you going? He says, I'm going to the Moy. And it turned out that he was going to his grandmother's 80th birthday party, and she didn't know he was coming. And he's from New York, and the family didn't know he was coming to it. So it was all secret. He couldn't get anybody to bring him home because they would know he wanted to walk into the party. So that was fair enough. I left him at the house and all. And he said, as he got out of the car, he said, listen, that's great. If you're ever in New York, look me up. And I said, right, no problem. But I didn't know what his name was or where he lived or what. Like, it was like as if you're ever in this wee village, look me up, you know. But I have to go around. Like, if I'm ever in New York, I have to go around and look and try and find him, you know, to say you told me to look you up. But that was that. But I think I saw them spuds out now. There, they don't look very nice. These ones, they're very dirty, but maybe they'll wash up all right, you know. So there's that. There's a brave few there, right. I need to do a bit of swapping over here, John, so if you give me a few minutes, I'll just take some out of one bag into the other. We've only got the one bag here, you know. Or I've got two bags, but I need one for weighing. So, I'll tell you what though, the tomato food seemed to do okay. Right. Oh, there you go. Empty bag. That awful moment when you think you forgot to turn the camera on. I'll probably have to deduct about £2 for the dirt in these. But that's tomato fertilizer there and nothing else. And that's pretty impressive. See, I thought to myself, well, potatoes and tomatoes are the same family, nightshades. So I thought, well, sure, they both maybe use the same food. So I thought, well, maybe they'll respond the same way to the same fertilizer, so I think it's gone alright. I'll definitely try this again next year, or this year. There's going to be big changes here this year, folks. I'm going to definitely go for it big time because I let myself down badly last year between the bad weather and my apathy after the bad weather. It wasn't good, but I'm getting there now, you know, it's good. I'm happy enough. Right, this is going to be the last of the reveals for today, folks, because I'm getting tired and I'm getting very cold. Right, so I need to put this up here. Turn it over there, line up on that, and then zoom in. I was trying to get a better resolution for this camera. It's only got 480 or something, but it turns out I've got it in XP at the moment, but that's the best resolution. It's not a high def camera, you know. So, should I buy a new camera to get a high definition? They're not that expensive, but do I need to, or are you happy enough? See, what I'm thinking is, a lot of people are on dial-up. And especially in America, where they're out in the rural areas where they haven't got the high speed in yet, and it takes longer to render the high def, you know. It's okay for boys like me that are sitting a few metres from the big telephone box and getting 80 megabyte download, but there's boys getting a lot less, and I don't want to spoil it for them, you know. Hello. Right, I think we're about £7 here. We're going, there's kilos, pounds. 6.4 pounds, so that's 2.8 kilos about. 2.9 kilos. So I'm happy enough with that. Happy enough with that. So I'll just turn that round again. Right, what are we seeing? I need to bring that back. No, wrong way. And we'll see how that goes there. Oh dear dear. Right, so that's enough. We'll bend down a bit because the camera's not up high enough. That's enough for today, just some wee hitchhiking stories. I've actually written down a whole lot of stories that I haven't told you yet because I'm scared of forgetting them, you know. I'm looking for photographs of, I'm going to take the hat off, it's getting warm now. I've got my head shaved and all, I've got the beard off, got the head done as well. I'm looking for photographs of the children sacrificing me on every altar and standing stone in Ireland. So when I get those, I'll try to copy them into a video some way and show you those. You know, somebody asked, could you see that? So there you are now, that's it. All the best, folks. Thanks for putting up with these videos, and I hope that things are kind to you for the next few days. Bye bye.